Hello again in this video clip series, My Journey to God in a Very Secularized World. We're talking about this topic that you can also find published. Only a remnant will remain faithful to the truth. Jesus said in Matthew 7, he says, "Beware of false prophets, who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits." Matthew 7. Jesus did not say you will know them by their leaves, which would be their nice words. The fundamental job, according to the vocation from God of the priests and bishops, is to protect the sheep from the wolf, Satan, who is very intelligent and never sleeps. A great number of pastors are afraid and fall silent like dumb dogs. They cannot bark, that you read in Isaiah 56. Pope St. Gregory the Great, he quoted this in Office of Readings, week 27 on Sunday. While the wolf slowly leads the sheep into mortal sin, as if it were a good and normal thing to do. But what is more important, the eternal salvation of souls or human respect or glory before men in my parish or in my group? Pope John Paul II and Benedict XVI said and wrote many times, only what is true can ultimately be pastoral. In other words, we want to help people, but we want to get rid of the truth of God. You might read my article I published, Who Decides the Truth? Anyone who has tried to follow the signs of the times realize that the false prophet, the second beast of the book of Revelation, the beast which has two horns like those of a lamb, will end up deceiving a great number of people. It might seem exaggerated that people will arrive even to the point of adoring the Antichrist, as you read in chapter 13 of the book of Revelation. But each time a person or a priest accepts even a small lie of the devil or a compromise in order not to lose something to which he is attached in his heart, such as a group or friend or honor before men or money or power or pleasure, there is always an increase of spiritual blindness and pride. If this person does not repent with a good sincere confession and with sincere prayer, he will continue to seek the glory before men and to accept more and more the beautiful and easier and alluring lies of the father of lies, Satan. The youth and also adults who were not mature or strong felt real important and fulfilled to be with Hitler during the Second World War. At all costs, they wanted to protect Hitler in order to protect their importance in the Third Reich. Thus, these immature, spiritual, weak people did not let others criticize Hitler. That is, the people who opened their eyes to the uncomfortable truth outside the Third Reich, to the possibility that Hitler was doing great damage. The Freemasonry has worked very hard to promote and manipulate people to want to be politically correct in the world and in the church. As Jesus says in Luke 12, everyone who acknowledges me before men, the Son of Man also will acknowledge before the angels of God. But he who denies me before men will be denied before the angels of God. In the messages related to Gobi, we find how many pastors there are today who no longer defend the flock which has been entrusted to them by Jesus. Some remain silent when they should speak courageously to defend the truth and to condemn error and sin. They tolerate to avoid risk. They descend to compromise simply to maintain their privileges. Thus, error is spread under the form of ambiguous formulas, and reparation is no longer made for sin in a progressive apostasy from Jesus and from the gospel. This is our message on September 15th, 1982. And another message, Our Lady says to Gobi, through Gobi, what is it that is obscuring the beauty and the brightness of the church? It is the smoke of the airs which Satan has caused to enter into it. These are becoming constantly more and more disseminated and are bringing very many souls to the loss of the faith. The cause of such a vast diffusion of errors and of this great apostasy rests with unfaithful pastors. They remain silent when they should speak with courage to condemn error and to defend the truth. They do not intervene when they should be unmasking the rapacious wolves who, hidden under the clothing of lambs, have insinuated themselves into the flock of Christ. They are mute dogs who allow their flocks to be torn to pieces. You, on the other hand, must speak out with force and with courage to condemn error and to spread only the truth. The time of your public and courageous witness has come. That was a message September 8, 1985. In another message she says, the time has come to proclaim to all, with clarity and with courage, that the sixth commandment given by God to Moses, do not commit impure acts, still has its full force and must be observed even by this corrupted and perverted generation. Every pastor who, in any manner whatsoever, would justify these sins draws down upon his person and upon his life the fierce fire of divine justice. This is June 2, 1987. And again she says, Our Lady says, even the church here is being particularly threatened by the spread of errors, which bring one to the loss of the true faith. The pastors are responsible for this painful situation because many of them are not defending the truth with courage and often remain silent and tolerate abuses of every kind. And thus the integrity of the Catholic Church is becoming more and more threatened. This is a message October 7th, 1990. I might encourage you, to visit I put the whole Blue Book to Gobi on the internet, and it's called To the Priests, Our Lady's Beloved Sons, because almost 20 cardinals and more than 150 bishops, more than 50,000 priests and religious have followed the Marian movement of priests, receiving by way of the book, which contains the messages, precious teaching from the Mother of God, in this devastating attack of the ecclesiastical masonry on the sound doctrine of the Church and the sacraments, especially the Most Holy Eucharist. I'm writing, still writing to the members as an email to members in the Marian movement of priests. I continued and I wrote to them, I says, I hope that all of you know that Father Cortilio Gabrielli, the first successor of Don Stefano Gobi, wrote 2 letters this year in 1917 in order to warn us of these great hidden dangers. In this letter, with the crisis in the Church and in the Marian movement of priests, Father Cortilio Gabrielli asked also Father Ivan Pojanvenik to offer, he's a professor in ex-Yugoslavia, to offer his insights and his guidance regarding how the movement should relate with the present Bishop of Rome. This is back several years ago. Father Ivan Pojanik is a professor emeritus of theology at the faculty of Ljubljana, Slovenia. He has published various theological studies on the Second Vatican Council and on the Church. Father Ivan has also offered many meditations to the priests of Marian movement of priests at Colle Valenza, where we had our international meetings every year. Among other things, Father Ivan wrote in Father Cortilio's letter, he wrote this, he says, not understanding well some of Our Lady's messages and ignoring other uncomfortable ones, Father Larac, who became the first elected superior of the movement after the death of Don Stefano Gobi, Father Larocque's circular letter defends a total and unconditional infallibility of Pope Francis. With this great mistake, he has confirmed those members of the movement who sleep as naive children in Gethsemane at this hour of the Church's agony, and he has put to sleep many others. In addition, by virtue of its ambiguity, the circular letter has led a number of members away from the movement of Our Lady to another movement. Don Stefano said, "We must be intelligent children, that is, children with eyes open, not stupid children, that is, with eyes closed." As prophetically predicted by Don Stefano Gobi in the meditation on Gideon's battle against the Midianites, Judges chapter 7, only a remnant of the movement will be ready for the heroic climb of Calvary up to the end, but with the remnant of Our Lady will obtain her triumph. You might visit an article I wrote here, more details, the Rosary, the prayer of the little ones for the victory. And you can also find Father Quartilio's letter in Ready to Die for Christ the Truth. I end this video clip here. May God bless you and Mary guide you.